Don't know where to start. It can be overwhelming, even paralyzing. So let's fix that. Welcome to Simply Cyber, a community of tens of thousands of aspiring and active cybersecurity professionals focused on networking, knowledge sharing, and professional development. I'm Dr. Gerald, Auger, Chief Content Creator at Simply Cyber, inviting you to get the answers to your cybersecurity problems with hundreds of cybersecurity videos answering your frequently asked questions, interviewing industry experts, and live streaming daily cyber threat briefings hosted by me. Now get the stories and insights you won't find anywhere else. Hit subscribe now and dig into all the fresh content on the channel and in the community. Nothing should stop you from launching and leveling up your cybersecurity career today. All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday, March 12th, 2024. Welcome to episode number 576 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast show. We've got a banger for you today. Over the next 45 minutes, me, you, Marcus Kyler of the Yeet Crew, Sabasot, Blue Badgenet, Linda Smith, Alana Boyajian, David P., the Hamburglar, CC Dubs, Jose Alfredo Valentino, Thomas Marquette, Brian Bates, Jesse Johnson. We got the mod team coming in strong. Folks over on LinkedIn, like Unknown, we'll just recognize your anonymity and respect your privacy. All of you, including myself, we're all going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day, and I'll be giving my expert opinion and analysis on each of those stories on what it means to you as a practitioner. So what can you do with this information to actually drive cyber risk reduction for your business stakeholders? Or if you're looking to break in the industry, buckle up, Buttercup, because you're going to get so much knowledge jammed in your grill. It's going to be next level. This right here is a dynamite answer to what do you do to stay current in the industry in an interview. Boom, mic drop. Also, I want to point out that the streaming chat over there on the side, that is the Simply Cyber community, and the networking is chef's kiss. You're going to get massive value from that too. So say what's up, high five virtually, do what's up. It's all about good times up in here in the Simply Cyber community. Guys, before I get into the streams, I want you all to know that we got a bunch of stories to cover today, but I do not know what any of them are. I intentionally do not research or prep for any of these stories because I want it to be as legit and authentic as it is, as if we worked together and we were grabbing a cup of coffee at the break room, talking about what we heard in the news last night or early this morning coming into work. So that's what we're doing here. But before I get into it, before I shred everybody's faces with the top news, let me tell you what's up. We got some clipping action over here. Want to say shout out and thanks to the stream sponsors, those businesses, those partners, those sponsorships that allow me to get up here every single weekday morning and just spit hot fire like Dylon into the mic about what is going on in the cyber industry, starting with my good friend Barricade Cyber Solutions. Barricade Cyber Solutions is dedicated to helping businesses from cyber attacks and recover from the damage done. Cyber attacks can cause massive issues for businesses and send dedicated, hardworking business owners into turmoil. But guess what, y'all? Guess what Barricade Cyber Solutions knows how to do? They know how to mitigate the damage done by cyber incidents. They know how to yeet threat actors out the environment. Check them out at barricadecyber.com. Links in the description below. They are basically your one-stop shop for incident response and threat actor management. Also want to say shout out to Panoptcy Security. Get a partner who understands your cyber program and your business goals, whether it's tactical like, oh, I need help doing a tabletop exercise, or I've heard about this new technology, continuous threat exposure management. Is that a technology I need? Do I need application security gateway? I don't know. Maybe you don't know either, but you can get help instead of guessing it, instead of rolling a 20-sided die and seeing what happens, instead of shaking the magic 8 ball and being like, do I invest in firewalls this budget season? Signs say yes. No, get a partner who can help you make those deliberate decisions informed on fact and statistics and your current resource allocation capability. Panoptcy.com. I know it sounds a little deep in the weeds, but believe me, an ounce of prevention today is worth, $1 of like, oh crap, next week. All right. Panoptcy.com. At a minimum, connect with Brandon Poole, Poole, Brandon Poole over on LinkedIn. The dude is epic. Also want to say shout out and love to Antisyphon, but more about these beautiful babies and the sick ass, whoa, sorry, Kennedy. Wow, coming in real hot this morning. I'm feeling myself here. More about them and the sick conference they got coming on tomorrow at the Midroll. Each episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Briefing is worth half a CPE. So say what's up in chat, hashtag TeamSC if you're a regular, and grab a screenshot. As simple as that. Grab a screenshot of the stream right now. Hit the little button on the side of your phone, like pinch it, and grab a screen cap of that. Whatever it is, however you want to consume it, but get credit for the CPEs by saying what's up in chat. You have a burned-in, auditable, forensically sound record that you were here, part of the show, consuming this. Basically, guys, without being a super boring nerd about it, this is an educational webinar. Welcome to the party, pal. The deal is we don't have to make it suck. It can be awesome every single day, and that's what we're doing up here at Simply Cyber. So say what's up in chat, hashtag TeamSC like my man Tom Bishop. Now listen, if it is your first episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Briefing, this is pretty part and parcel of what you can expect from every episode, minus the lack of audio-visual impacts. Say hashtag first timer in chat. Hashtag first timer in chat. We got a special emote, special sound effect for you. We'd love to welcome you, our first timers. Now it's time to get to work. Wah, wah, wah. So do me a favor, sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us all in an awesome wave. I'll see you at the Midroll.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are your cybersecurity headlines for Tuesday, March 12th, 2024. I'm Lauren Verno. Roku forces reset after 15,000 accounts compromised. You might not be able to put a price on happiness, but you can put a price on your stolen data. Roku announced that more than 15,000 customers were impacted by a credential stuffing attack late last week. And now Bleeping Computer reports that hundreds of those accounts are being sold on stolen account marketplaces for as little as 50 cents. The company says that users were locked out of their accounts and the threat actors were able to change the information on passwords, email addresses, and shipping addresses. Now, this allowed those who bought the information or the threat actors themselves to make purchases using stored credit card information without the legitimate account holder receiving any confirmation emails. Roku says they've secured the impacted accounts and forced a password reset.
All right, that's pretty cool. Couple of things here. One, Roku, kind of like a second-tier player in the home streaming, device market, right? So there's like Apple TV and Amazon Fire, but Amazon Hot Fire, Dylon. Listen, Amazon and Apple have so much unbelievable capital to invest in marketing that's why they have like such a hard market share. But Roku, the little engine that could, has been around since like I want to say like the late 90s, early 2000s. Like they've been around, and they suffered this breach. Now, one thing that's worth noting here, if you're not in the know, they say accounts sold for 50 cents each, like 4 bits. Listen, what is not happening is some threat actor doesn't have a stall at an open farmer's market, and they're like, 50 cents, 4 bits, get your Roku accounts here. Except pretend I said that in like an old villager plebeian, kind of Crusades era English voice. Like they're not doing that. What ended up, the way they're coming up with this calculation is, it's very, I would assume that these are being sold in like bunches, right? Or batches, right? So like either all 15 grand at once and you pay $7,500 for it, or they're doing it in batches of 1,000 for $500. They're not selling individual accounts. No one's sending a Venmo for 50 cents. Okay. Like I hate, whatever. So just for those who know, like just to put it plainly, okay? It's not like you give your kid 2 quarters and they go over to like one of those vending machines with the twisty thing that's like outside of every restaurant or outside of a gas station. And they're like, Dad, I hope I get the Buzz Lightyear one. And they crank it and it comes out with like a Roku credential. And you're like, oh, like, okay. No, that's not what's happening here. Okay, next thing, Roku gets popped. Pretty crappy controls in place here as far as incident response for Roku. So here's the thing. When you are a tech company, right, you got to, like, guys, I want to bring this up because you got to think about it. When you're doing impact assessment or, business impact analysis, if you want to go that nerdy route, BIAs, or you're doing like, kind of information security program management for a tech company, you've got to think of two different dimensions, right? First of all, you got to think of like your business, your corporate security. How are we protecting Carl in accounting from giving up his creds and, CFO doing business email compromise? How are we protecting Luke Canfield, who's on sales, going out into the market, trying to do channel partnerships and stuff, and Jesse Johnson, who's going to a conference? Like, how do we protect them from infecting our mothership, right? But for a tech company, you also have to think of your consumer base and what their workflows look like. And in this instance, I'm a little like, not really pumped about it. So they got this massive compromise, right? And, it sounds like credit cards were able to get got. Threat actors were able to change email addresses without some type of validation or verification from the person who owns the existing email account on record, and they were able to reset the passwords, obviously, which does make sense, by the way. If you're already logged in, a lot of times resetting the password, you'll be logged in, you'll have to enter the existing password, which the threat actors had in this case. So I would say like the protection controls are like could have been improved a bit on the customer experience side, but Roku does do the right thing by causing a massive reset password for the all the accounts that were impacted. I don't know what the credit card situation was, whether or not most credit cards, at least in the United States, Visa, MasterCard, etc., Discover, Diners Club, if you want to go that route, they don't really hold victims accountable for fraudulent purchases anymore. So there's that. You know what? Not to like kick Roku while you're down, but can I just let me introduce you. There's this thing in 2024 Roku. It's very cutting edge, very bleeding edge. It's just coming out of it's just coming out of the think tanks at Rand Corporation. It's called multi-factor authentication. Really, really should check it out. I know it's not widely adopted or completely communicated across the industry yet, but you might want to look into that because it would have prevented any of this from happening. Okay, multi-factor so hot.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
French government agencies targeted in unprecedented attacks. The French Prime Minister's office disclosed that multiple French government agencies were subjected to, quote, intense cyber attacks, with characteristics suggesting they were distributed denial of service attacks. These attacks, described with, quote, unprecedented intensity, end quote, aim to overload servers with excessive requests, hindering access to network resources without stealing information. The French government has not attributed the event to any group, although similar incidents have historically been linked to groups supporting Russia's actions in Ukraine, some possibly with external backing. In response, the French government activated a crisis cell to implement countermeasures, successfully mitigating the impact and restoring access to most state websites.
Yeah, okay. All right, so this story, definitely cyber story, but there isn't a lot of meat on the bone, right? This is one of those stories that you can look straight at and you're like, oh, that's a story. And then if the story turns to the side, even a degree, it's paper thin. Okay, that's what's going on here with this story. So French government agency hit by, they use the word intent so much that they must have like an affiliation with the dictionary and they get a kickback every time they use the word intense on this story. So They got hit with the distributed denial of service attack. There's no understanding on who the threat actor is, what the motivations were, or what there was no long-lasting impact. They're back up. A distributed denial of service attack, you have to keep and this is distributed denial of service with network traffic overwhelming, right? So you can use all different types of techniques. If you want to know a modern technique, look up DNS amplification attack. You could do a memcache amplification redirection attack, right? It's basically leveraging cloud infrastructure to send a small amount of data requesting something right? So the attacker sends a small amount of data requesting something from misconfigured cloud infrastructure, and then the misconfigured cloud infrastructure sends a massive amount of information back, but is redirected to the victim IP address. That's common. You can also see botnets, but with with amplification redirection attacks, it's like that. It's like you can like be picking your teeth waiting for the light to change and pull one of those off. So anyways, long story short, they're back up. Who knows why they did it? It's easy. I mean, I guess if I had like, all right, Jerry, like, you got $10 to bet on FanDuel on who did this or why they did it. And it's a free parlay bet, and you're going to like lose it if you don't bet it anyways. Like, if I wouldn't bet on this, but if I had to, because like whatever, I would assume this has something to do with Ukraine, Russia, and France did something NATO friendly that peed off the Russian side of the equation. And this is a flex by Russia on like, we can smack you around if we want. Hitting the government agencies, obviously that scares a little bit of like the French federal government, citizens of the French country. But for the most part, this is a 24-hour news cycle thing where, by Thursday this week, it's baguettes and French onion soup again, right? We've got someone's tossing their hat in the someone's tossing their hat. Oh, hold on, my Chiron's not updated. Someone's tossing their hat into the ring saying that it is in fact Killnet. I didn't know Killnet was still around. They were talking like a hot mess a little while ago. Hold on one second. I'm fixing the Chiron. Running my Python scripts in the background. There we go. Thank you, BSEC. There we go. All right. So anyways, long story short, Fintech
firm taken offline by ransomware attack. The irony is never lost on me when a company claims their solutions, quote, reduce risk, only to then become the victim of a ransomware attack. This was the case for Equilend Holdings, a New York-based securities lending platform that was forced to take its systems offline in late January following an attack. Bloomberg reports that the Lockbit ransomware gang claimed responsibility, though Equilend did not confirm this. The company notified employees that the attackers had stolen sensitive information, including names, birth dates, and even social security numbers. Equilend employs 330 employees across 3 continents, and its services are used by more than 190 firms worldwide.
All right. So, really quick, I'm trying to do a fact check here on when Lockbit got a mud hole stomped in their booty not too long ago. So I'm wondering if this poor company is like one of the last ones to get slapped around. So the attack was on January 24th. Okay. When was Lockbit taken down? Like Lockbit? Hold on. Lockbit taken down on February 19th. Yeah. Okay. So these poor sons of bees, they got hit right on the tail end of this. Okay, so your data was stolen. That's a tough one for the chief operating officer to have to report to the workforce. This is fintech company in New York, so high stress, high everything. Probably some high net worth individuals running around in there, which is obviously going to be fodder for another round of attacks. Now, I will say this. There is a chance, so there's a couple things going on here. One, it's possible that Equilend is not going to pay the ransom and recover anyways. Let me see. They said that all client-facing services were back online. So, okay. This is actually pretty cool. So I'm not surprised. Financial services companies typically invest heavily in InfoSec because we're talking about straight cash, homie. Straight cash, homie. So downtime is like money to them, and they lose their mind. So they do typically invest pretty strongly in InfoSec, both protection and detection and recover or response controls. So the fact that they got back up in 2 days, is pretty freaking sick. They may have paid the ransom. I don't know. But I will say that, there's not much to this story. I mean, ransomware gets hit all the time. Unfortunately, this is one of those ones where there is a asymmetric impact where this company gets hit, right? And because they've invested heavily in the company, within 2 days, they're back up making money. Now, the employees, their data has been compromised, and Equilen's going to tell their employees that privacy and security is very important to them and that they can enjoy their 2 years of identity theft protection. And I'm sure the identity theft protection companies are offering a discount on renewing for the 3rd year, which is just gross. But unfortunately, if you are, employee here, you're screwed, right? I will say that just for your own edification, it is possible, like I was about to say earlier, that Lockbit kind of got destroyed in a way. So it's possible that this data never really sees the light of day because law enforcement intervened before Lockbit could do something. They did say about 3 weeks. They did say about 3 weeks between compromise and Lockbit takedown. So I don't know how quickly Lockbit can really move. But this is a pretty big company, man. Holy Jesus. Holy crap, bro. Listen to this. Security finance marketplace participants use Equilen. This is the company that was compromised. Next gen trading, puke buzzword, to trade more than $2.4 trillion monthly. Bro, I'm out here saving a couple shekels by going to Costco and buying 300 K-cups at a rip. The K-cups are for Mrs. Auger. I'm doing French press. And these guys are trading $2.4 trillion monthly. Like, that's insane. I can't even wrap my head around that. Anyways, long story short, if you've been following along in the industry, this is a interesting story, but it's basically, a standard operating procedure. Like, this is almost like a filler story where like, oh, we need one more story. Just grab a ransom one off the heap, throw it in here.
Okta says alleged data leak, not their data. The Okta cyber attack is back in the conversation. Well, sort of. As a refresher, in October of 2023, hackers breached Okta, a provider of cloud identity and access management solutions, accessing data from all Okta customers. There hasn't been much talk of the attack since, but over the weekend, a user under the alias DDarkNoteEvil claims he posted the Okta database containing information of 3,800 customers' data stolen in the attack last year. Now, Okta clarified to Bleeping Computer the data isn't theirs and is likely public information. The company says after a weekend inspection, they found no evidence of a new breach.
Yeah. All right. So the TLDR with this story is, so Okta is a huge, identity and authentication management, or, they're a huge, federated service identity provider. They do a lot of stuff with identity and authentication. Let me see at the full scope of what they say they do. Like, if you use Okta, you might have multi-factor, you might have federated authentication. It's an identity and access management platform offering secure identity verification, single sign-on, and MFA. Okay, you can see here, this is all they do. But here's the deal. Because Okta is responsible for, most notably, authentication, that gives you access to systems, cloud-based systems, sensitive systems, all these things. So it's incredibly important for Okta to maintain a good, clean presence online, a good security posture, trust and assurance in their customer base that, basically, you're not giving the keys to the kingdom to threat actors to all your assets because you've basically outsourced identity and access management to Okta, for lack of a better term. So that's what's up. So when these threat actors say, from this massive breach from not too long ago, which, by the way, remember, Okta got hit. It was like their customer service portal with trouble tickets and stuff like that. Okta is very, very, very motivated to respond quickly, swiftly, and comprehensively with details on what it is and, most importantly, what it is not. Now, OCTA says that they've evaluated this information that was leaked on the dark web, and it's not, in fact, their data. And if it is, then it's publicly available data. So two things. One, OCTA is protecting their brand and their integrity, and for good reason. Plus, I will tell you, if OCTA came out and said, some companies do this, and it's an absolute eye roll. Some companies will come out and say, that's not our data. I can't pull one from my memory bank really quickly, but it has happened a few times in the last couple of years, and it's embarrassing. I feel like maybe 23andMe did it a little bit, but basically you get hit with something and you're like, oh no, we looked at it, it's not ours. And then it comes out it is in fact yours. You look like an absolute clown show. So OCTA doing this would not be a good deal. The other thing I want to point out is, remember, most times when threat actors print out or point out on online that, here's a data dump, whatever, look at the feeds, whatever. It's I would say, like, most of the time, at least most of the time that I hear about it or see it, it is authentic and legit. But there is a small percentage of threat actors who will post bull crap and basically try to get clout, try to get, prestige. So that's what's going on here. If I had to make a guess, this individual is somebody who's like kind of new on the scene, the threat actor, or really interested in wanting to be seen as somebody who's a total BA. And they've posted a bunch of information, right, at Intel Broker, a bunch of information on the dark web and said this is part of the OCTA breach. So obviously people are talking about it. Other threat actors are like, oh, yeah, check out this dude, right? Now, maybe you won't go through the data dump. You'll just assume, okay, this guy or this woman is legit. They posted the OCTA breach. But in reality, it's just like a feign, or not a scam, but like it's like a feign in order to puff up the prestige, so you can get access to more data, or maybe you could charge more prices if you do get some type of data set later on. So you've always, again, guys, for me personally, if I'm not 100% sure what is going on, my initial thoughts are, what's the motive? Like, how can whoever did this benefit financially, right? It follow the money. Either that or follow like the prestige and the clout, which typically would follow up with money.
And now a word from our sponsor, Vanta. From dozens of spreadsheets and screenshots to fragmented tools and manual security reviews, managing the requirements for modern compliance and security programs is increasingly challenging. Vanta is a leading trust management platform that helps you centralize your efforts to establish trust and enable growth across your organization. Over 6,000 companies partner with Vanta to automate compliance, strengthen security posture, streamline security reviews, and reduce third-party risk. To learn more, go to vanta.com/CISO and watch their 3-minute product demo. That's VANTA.com/CISO.
All right, Soundhouse Atlanta, welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party,
Ooh. All right, everybody, welcome to the party, pal. We're at the Midroll. Hopefully you're having a great show. If you are, do me a favor, hit that like button on YouTube. Not for the vanity metrics. I'm not going to say, oh, if we get 2,000 likes, I'll do a laugh. No, it's like literally, it's to help grow the channel and help, more importantly, other people who are searching for cybersecurity content on the stream find this channel. It'll automatically push it into their, their YouTube dashboard, like when they log into YouTube. So check it out. Travis Dubb with the super chat. Thanks, Travis. Yes, let's do this. You know what? We'll do this. We don't do this often, but let's do it. Yes, yes. Feel the nostalgia. Get those feels, y'all. So good. All right. Guys, thanks so much for hitting that like button. I want to say thanks again to the stream sponsors, Barricade Cyber, Panoptcy, and want to tell you about Antisyphon training. Guys, Antisyphon training, the training arm of Black Hills InfoSec, is disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by offering cutting-edge, high-quality training and education to everyone, regardless of financial position. They give their students the opportunity to learn skills, practice what is taught, and engage with the community in a fun and inclusive way. If you're enjoying the way the community is engaging in the chat right now, you will love Antisyphon training. 2 things I want to tell you about. Number 1, next week, John Strand himself, SANS instructor, formerly John Strand, really, really awesome man, John Strand, super smart InfoSec practitioner, John Strand, is doing a Getting Started with Black Hills and MITRE ATT&CK. If you're new to the industry or you just want to refresh on MITRE ATT&CK, you can do this training for $0. Don't let cost be an impediment. We've removed that barrier. So now it's a question of you making the time and making the commitment to yourself to get the training you need. This is awesome. Go to antisyphontraining.com and check it out. Pay what you can. There's a link directly to it. Also, tomorrow they have a 1-day virtual conference that I'm going to be at. Eric Taylor's going to be co-hosting it. Many of the Simply Cyber community members are going to be there. I personally hope that we raid the conference and take it over in a fun, supportive, inclusive way, not in a jerk way. But go sign up for the Simply Cyber, the most offensive con that ever offensed. Definitely not taking credit for this. Free conference tomorrow. All about good times. Come check it out. Here's the button to register. Register for that. Hey, Soulshine, thanks for the super chat. All right, guys, go get on that. Hey, want to tell you about the Simply Cyber Community Challenge. Every single day we do this. None, N-O-N-E, is in chat, or is in chat. Is none in chat? None is not in chat, so we need someone to take the baton. Here's the reality, guys. Here's the reality. Go on LinkedIn if you want to blow up your network professionally with your connections, and if you want your LinkedIn feed to be mostly cyber content. Only if you want those things. Super valuable. Go on LinkedIn, search for the hashtag Simply Cyber Community Challenge. Connect with the people in the posting, connect with the people in the comments, and comment yourself. I need someone to accept the baton, so please volunteer if you'd like the baton. Guys, here's what the baton holder does. Once a day, someone gets a baton, they go on LinkedIn and they share their cybersecurity story. Justin Hooligan was the other day, blew up his network feed. None was yesterday, blew up his network feed. I'm telling you guys, there's massive value in here for it, so don't be shy. Every single day, I need someone to volunteer for the baton, by the way, okay? It's not intimidating. It's not hard. You literally just say, I'll take it. Take care, Triple D. We'll see you. Hey, just say, I'll take the baton. Share your cyber story, and it's as simple as that. Every single day of the week has a special segment, and Tuesdays are Tidbits Tuesday. We've run over on time, so I won't, bemoan you with too long a Tidbits Tuesday, but it's a little something. So I will tell you this, Tidbits Tuesday, I was a big drama kid. Not like, oh my God, this guy's so much drama. Like, oh, we can't be around him because he's so drama. No. Like in high school, I did theater. I had some leading roles I was very proud of. I really, really enjoyed it. And I loved The Breakfast Club, the movie The Breakfast Club, as many of us do. I always thought Breakfast Club would be an amazing stage play. I think it could have been made into the stage play. Would have loved to have done that. Obviously, I would have been Anthony Michael Hall's character, the nerd, just being real. But, so anyways, just a little thought about, I did drama, loved it. I loved Breakfast Club, and I always thought it would be a cool stage play. John Brock accepting the baton. Let's go, John Brock. All right, and let's get back into the news and finish strong, y'all.
White House launches secure software development initiative. The Biden-Harris administration introduced a new secure...
Hold on, not a deep fake coming in with the super chat. Looks like 2 super chats. Hold on, I got to get caught up on these. Soulshine.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
With a super chat. Thank you, Jerry, for all you do. Without you, would not have found the cybersecurity, been hooked ever since. Oh, excellent. Hey, guess what, Soulshine? It's not just me. It's everybody hitting that like button on the midroll to key that. And we're happy to have you in the community for sure. Not a deep fake with a super chat.
We just become best friends.
Love this morning shoe. Do you love morning shoes too? Not a deep fake. Love the morning show. Blew up my LinkedIn with the challenge. Been able to expand my network like crazy for like 2 weeks straight. Heck yeah. That's what I'm saying, guys. The Simply Cyber Community Challenge. It is not a joke. It is legit if you want to blow up your LinkedIn feed.
Software development attestation form to enhance digital security across the U.S. Now, this initiative requires software producers working with the federal government to confirm they follow secure development practices. The move is part of efforts to improve cybersecurity in response to major threats like we saw with the SolarWinds incident, and aligns with President Biden's executive order on improving the nation's cybersecurity. It aims to ensure the government uses software that is secure by design, benefiting not just government operations, but also enhancing security standards globally.
All right. We saw this coming, okay? Did we get a newcomer? Space Talk goes, whoever the newcomer is, welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
All right, so here's the deal. We talked about this a little while ago. CISA, Our Lady of Cybersecurity, Jen Easterly, straight crushing it out here like a boss. Let's do that. They're defining secure software development attestation forms, which is basically, there's a couple things here. One, we've seen this multiple times in, historically speaking. I want to see what this is really quickly. Here's the attestation form. Come on, let's go. Dude, you have to go through like 9 links to get this freaking form. And this form loops back on itself, bro. This is a loop back. You can't. All right, so here's the actual form in PDF form. Here's the deal. Basically, CISA is requiring software companies to make an attestation. I want to remind you, this is self-attestation, not independently audited or validated. So there's your first okay. You need to self-attest that you're adhering to whatever security controls that the U.S. government is saying. Next, they're saying that this new approach is going to require ownership of the outcomes to be the burden of the security company, not the customer, i.e., requiring admin credentials to be changed before you can use the product, i.e., multi-factor authentication enabled, not by default, and it could be disabled by the consumer, but not by default. Okay, that to me, that's what this means. Okay, this is actually pretty important. Okay, guys, embrace radical transparency. I always hate this crap. Like, dude, radical transparency, that's a subjective statement. What does that mean? Radical to me means different than you. Transparency to who? The public or to the government? Okay, so we'll see about that. But I do appreciate accountability. Software companies for a long time have been perversely incentivized to roll out features, not like new features, not security. And then they'll, fix it down the road after they're, counting their fat stacks. And then org structures and leadership to achieve these goals. This is requiring businesses to invest in information security, build org structures, i.e. an InfoSec office. I got news for you.
Straight cash, homie.
This is one of those things where, yeah, this is all fine and dandy, and you can say it and like, oh, we take security seriously, and starting today is a new dawn. But guys, when it comes down to like going to the CFO and having the CFO cut a check, when it comes to the business looking at their FY25 goals, and they're like, well, we've got $2 million to invest. We can hire like 3 new developers and roll out a new module. We can expand into Europe and continue to make straight cash, homie. Or we can hire a CISO and two GRC analysts and adhere to this federal government standard. Guess what, guys? For-profit companies typically are for-profit, spoiler alert. So I'm not saying that this is not for nothing, but what I am saying is we'll see what the implementation looks like. When you have self-attestation, a lot of times companies will look at themselves with rose-colored glasses, right? Like, I'll give you a perfect example. Say there's a control or some requirement that you need to have multi-factor authentication enabled. Well, if you have it on your O365 accounts and you're doing self-attestation, you might say, well, do we have MFA enabled? Yes, of course we do. When I log into email, I have to do MFA, like check the box. Zing. But in reality, none of your networking gear has it. None of your third-party apps have it. None of your, user workstations have it. None of your web application server have it. And I'm being playfully humorous and slightly hyperbolic to make my point. But my point is, where does it end? Like, when you say, do we have MFA? Is it comprehensively across all accounts in the environment? No, that's a little bit of a overkill. But is it one instance in one place with MFA means yes? This isn't some type of Boolean logic where it's like, if anywhere, then yes, it's true. Okay, so you'll get all these type of like self-attestations that are hot mess express. Finally, what happens if you don't comply with this? What happens if you misunderstood what having MFA in place meant and you get caught with your hand in the cookie jar? You're a Vanta, right? You're a Vanta and you have a massive data breach. You're Move It and you have a massive data breach. You're Screen Connect and you have a massive data breach, right? You're Equifax. Well, Equifax doesn't really count, but my point is, like, is there any slap on the wrist? Is there any accountability? What is the motivation for a business to go back to that resource thing? Where's the motivation for the business to say, no, hey, I know it'd be like really profitable for the stake shareholders and for my own bonus program. I do need baby needs another yacht. But you know what? The punishment if we get screwed by not investing in InfoSec is legit, and I don't want to feel that pain. Like, where's the pain? Again, follow the money, guys. Like, this is great, and I love it, CISA. Love it, mean it. I'm a super CISA fan. I also love NIST. Just that's unrelated, but I thought I'd say it. But like, where is the incentive for people who are financially motivated to comply with this?
Straight cash, homie.
All right, that's all I got to say about that. Finally, just looking at this attestation form, or let's see. Ugh. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Really quickly, I know you can't really see it on the screen, but I just want to tell you, because this is important. This is going to affect companies that are making software and selling it to the government. Big wigs like Microsoft, but even if you're a custom small boutique firm in the DC Beltway that makes some type of software that controls tanks or runs simulations for drone pilots, or your zombie works and you're making Apache simulator software, you'll have to comply with this. Okay, I just want to look at how reasonable their asks are. They say that dude, the Adobe Reader in the browser sucks. It's like so bloated. All right, software is developed and built in a secure environment. Okay. I hate to be a dork, but define that. All right. So the dev build's different. Regularly logging, monitoring, and auditing trust relationships. Okay, I like that. That basically means anyone that can access it is in fact the right person that they're, enforcing MFA and conditional access across environments for developing and building software. Guys, okay, so first of all, I love myself some MFA, so let's get that out of the way. But more importantly, encrypt sensitive data like creds, implement defensive cyber practices. This is super subjective. Again, self-attestation, you're going to check this box 100 out of 100 times. Even if you just have a backup on a thumb drive. I'll do a whole, we can have like office hours and I could go deep into this whole document. But here's my thing. Final hot take on this particular story. Let me get a hot take. This story, if I had to guess, and the controls I just looked at that you have to attest to, this story is 1,000% a direct response to the SolarWinds attack. This story actually doesn't have anything to, now that I've just looked at this, what they're actually asking for. This story has nothing to do with like Move It, Progress, Screen Connect, active exploitation of technical vulnerabilities. None of that. This right here has to do with threat actors getting into the build pipelines. That's what this is. 100%. This is a response to SolarWinds. I would almost I would like if I had access to a resource over at CISA. Jen, I know you're a passive observer lurking in the shadows. To me, hot take, this is a direct response to SolarWinds. Let's keep going.
Biden asked for increased funding for cybersecurity programs. While on the topic of the White House, President Biden released his budget proposal for fiscal year 2025, and the administration is asking for $13 billion in cybersecurity funding. Cyberscoop reports highlights include an additional $103 million to the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, or CISA, for a total of $3 billion for the agency. Notably, $800 million was earmarked to help low-resource hospitals cover the initial cost of implementing a basic cybersecurity program, and a $500 million incentive for more robust programs. While many are skeptical as to whether the budget will pass, it does give a good indication of the administration's priorities.
All right. So, I mean, I hate that our federal government, there's like this whole dance when there's like, not bipartisanship, but like when the different branches have different kind of initiatives and a lot of infighting and crap. So Biden asks for $13 billion? $13 billion. And it's like assumed that he's not going to get it, right? Okay. So like a lot of posturing. I'm sure there'll be a lot of, like news stories about this going off. So you know what? Okay. Okay. So anyways, the budget's coming out, guys. Federal agencies are getting hit left, right, and center. Department of Energy, Department of Justice, Department of Treasury. Like a lot of these got screwed by the the Move It data breach with Clop ransomware, right? So yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Exactly. So there was talk about CISA getting a budget cut, if you recall that, not too long ago, which would be ridiculous and a complete. You know what I hate about politics? Like I don't really talk politics all that often, but I hate that certain programs are like not weaponized, but like exploited in furtherance of some type of agenda that's completely unrelated. It's like a divorced couple like weaponizing their children to hurt the other one. It just sucks. Like, dude, we're getting hit all over the place. CISA and the FBI came out in a congressional hearing the other day talking about China's infecting like small business and home routers all over the place. And we're like having a pissing match about investing in cybersecurity. Sorry, Kennedy. So anyways, we'll see what happens. These numbers are so large that it's kind of hard to know like where the $13 billion, like $13 billion sounds like a lot. It's obviously not going to get approved. It'll be some subset of that. But I mean, how many civilian agencies in the US are there? Like just do the math really quickly, right? There's 438 agencies, right? So, if you just do the math, 438 agencies divided by 13 billion, it sounds like a lot, but it's not. And another thing that kind of sucks, like I wish we were better at it. But a lot of U.S. agencies have like some type of, oh my God, like not feudalism, but they have like this, like, oh, this is my like the CIA and the FBI are notorious for this, but like, oh, this is like my bag of goodies, like you can't have it. So large for-profit, follow the money, for-profit companies will sell data, threat intel, a solution to the FBI, and then turn around and sell like the same exact feed to the CIA, when in reality, they could have had an economies of scale and just bought a few more licenses or expanded it. But no, this is my bag. This is my fiefdom, right? It's so petty and it's so ridiculous and it's so bloated and such a waste of financial resources. Anyway, so like the 13 billion, like good number, they're not going to get it. They'll get less, but hopefully CISA keeps doing their thing. We've seen all this guidance around MFA, zero trust architecture. rolling out all these requirements for federal agencies to comply with it in a certain period of time. So hopefully we keep on moving. Let's keep on moving and getting what we need. And, whoever's in office, whether it's Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, Green Party, like what, I don't care. Like whatever it is, like it's one of those things where it's like, okay, you can have your agenda and your like whatever's important to you. But like at the end of the day, you got to keep the machine running. You've got to protect it, right? It's like, this is why SecOps people are just like, whatever, like, just leave me alone. I'm like manning the wall. You know what it reminds me of? Okay, sorry to go off on a little tangent here. It reminds me of Game of Thrones, okay? And if you're binging Game of Thrones right now, Alana Boyajian, hashtag spoiler alert coming on. Listen, it reminds me of Game of Thrones, where like the Night's Watch, and if you don't know Game of Thrones, I'm sorry for this reference. The Night's Watch is up on the wall, and they're protecting from the White Walker zombie invasion, right? And there's Game of Thrones things going on down in King's Landing and all the Garden Cities or wherever, and the Sand Cities or whatever. Like all of that petty infighting bullshit doesn't matter to the Night's Watch. The Night's Watch is SecOps, okay? They're just like, I don't care about your petty squabbles. We've got real threats up here. Just keep sending bodies, keep sending money, keep sending blankets. It's freaking cold up here, but we gotta man this fort up here. That's SecOps. Also, as a teaser, I didn't expect to do this, but as a teaser, in May, I'm doing a 1 hour anti-cast talk with Black Hills InfoSec. I get the whole hour to me. It's basically like a lecture I'm giving, but the entire lecture is what Game of Thrones can teach us about cybersecurity. And I basically just flip out for an hour and with all the parallels. And that's actually one of the parallels in my lecture or my talk. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. And if you are really interested, but you haven't seen Game of Thrones, you may want to binge watch it before May. I think it's May 12th.
Beware of fake crypto drainer apps. Wallet drainers or crypto drainers are becoming the new hot commodity for hackers. These drainers are apps or malicious scripts that trick users into entering their login information, after which the attacker is able to steal all their digital assets. Simple but effective. Lether, a cryptocurrency wallet platform, posted on their X account, warning users to not download the Lether wallet app on the Apple App Store because it doesn't exist. And they will let users know once they officially release an app to the public. As of this recording, it seems the fake app has now been removed from the store.
Wow. All right, so this is interesting. First of all,
I'm a crypto evangelist. I love it, love it, love it.
That is sarcasm. I'm not a crypto evangelist. I actually tweeted Ben McKenzie and asked him if he would write Easy Money 2.0 with this resurgence of crypto bros and all of the scams. Dude, we are about to enter Golden Age 2.0 of like crypto scams and rug pulls and all that other stuff. So here's the deal. This is actually pretty clever. Again, not really a cyber story, although it is a little bit, but it's less for businesses. There's a company called Lether, and I guess they sell some type of Bitcoin wallet. And some enterprising threat actor, by the way, like again, hat tip to a recent graduate from Threat Actor Academy for coming up with this technique. They basically saw this company, saw it take off, and appropriated its success and trust with the crypto community by basically creating a piece of malware that steals your cryptocurrency, named it Lether, and got it into the App Store. A little bit of extra work here by the threat actor, because getting an app into the App Store, my understanding is it's not simple. It's not, you don't just like upload it, pay a little fee, and there you go, it's in the store. Like it does go through some scrutiny. So for it to get through that scrutiny, very cool. I will say if the threat actor was able to get any amount of money, then, there you go. So again, they're definitely taking advantage of the trust of the Apple Store. They're taking advantage of the trust of this Lether company. and basically creating malware that steals your crypto and your wallet and all that other stuff. So, got to be mindful of this. This is just scam. This is crypto scam 101, right? So sorry to those people who got impacted.
First the beer, now the coffee. What's next?
No!
A Belgian village has taken a 1-2 punch with another ransomware attack. We first reported that the popular beer makers Duvel Brewery were hit by a cyber attack last week. Now we've learned a local coffee company less than a mile apart was hit by a similar attack. It's important to note these are not your mom and pop beer and coffee shops. According to the record, Byers is the largest coffee roaster in Belgium and employs more than 200 people in 5 countries, while Duvel is an international exporter of beer. But as I mentioned last week, a spokesperson for the beer company says, quote, there is enough stock so Duvel drinkers don't have to worry,
Oh my
end
God.
quote.
Dude, they're getting them like... every time they mention that Duvel said they have enough beer to go on, like, is there like a punch card where they get like a free pint at a local pub if they say it enough times? Like, I've heard that bit like so often. All right, so a huge coffee roaster got hit. Don't touch my coffee, brah. So the fact that these two are somewhat down the street from each other, I would normally say is unrelated, but it's quite possible that some affiliate who's operating in that region knows of those particular businesses and just knows that it could be impactful. It's not uncommon for, two businesses that are near each other geographically to get hit with ransomware, like, kind of like a spurious hit. But, these are two larger businesses, 1 week apart. Similar kind of business model, business operations. So, by the way, this is misspelled, right? Isn't it Duvel? Duvel? Isn't Duval? Duval is like the county in Jacksonville, Florida, where the Jaguars play, right? Duval. This is Duvel. So, first of all, typo. Secondly, threat actor is going to threat act, right? Like, basically, the TLDR here is, it sucks for the people who live in this Belgian town who are like, oh my gosh, my coffee, my beers. But this isn't seriously impactful to the customer base because there's other beers, especially in Belgium. There's also other coffee. By the way, I'll tell a personal story in a hot second. So this is cyber ransomware attack 101, right? They didn't say that it was a ransomware, did they? Oh, they spelt it correctly here. Yeah. This is a different story. So they didn't say it's ransomware, but if I had to guess, it's ransomware, right? If I had to, bet $5. Standard practice, guys. I've said it a million times. I should probably make a 30-second ad roll and just run it every time so I could save my breath. Ransomware is going to hit. You got to do business resiliency, not security. Put your protection controls in place. Make sure that you can respond well. Don't worry about detection controls. The threat actors will handle that for you. And do tabletop exercises and work through how you recover from a ransomware attack. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Just as a fun story, before we go, I do want to tell you that everybody here knows that I'm a huge coffee drinker, okay? And if you're new here, Atlanta SoundCloud or Atlanta Sound System, the first timer, listen, I'm a huge coffee drinker. So I drink an entire pot of coffee every single morning, and it's why I come in here with the fire, like I got shot out of a cannon every morning. I love coffee. When I travel internationally, apparently the rest of the world drinks coffee 2 ounces at a time, which is infuriating because when I order a coffee and I get served 2 ounces, I go stand in line again while I'm drinking my coffee because by the time I get back to the front of the line, I'm out of coffee and I need another coffee. So just really quickly, as a fun story, I was in New Zealand and I ordered a coffee and they brought me this tiny cup of coffee. And I'm like, what am I going to do with this? I'm like, can you bring me the largest vessel you have for coffee? And they ended up I think that they were doing this to punk me. They brought me a huge soup bowl and filled it with coffee, and I had to drink it with two hands like I was like some type of animal. I'm like, raw, but like, you know what? It was the right amount of coffee, and I'm super pumped. It was probably like 30 ounces of coffee, and I swear they were like peeking from, you know, the door from the kitchen that goes out into the front of the house, and they're like peeking through and just cracking up at this like gross American who's drinking coffee two-handed. Anyways, you know what? That's how I feel about coffee. I need it. All right, let's keep going here. Looks like we've reached the end of the show. All right. All right, guys, what's up? What's cracking? How you doing? Thank you so much for attending the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. We're right at time, 9 a.m. Someone tell Nick Barker we nailed it. Episode 576 just coming to a wrap. If you want, stay tuned. We've got Jawjacking coming in a hot minute with our very own Barricade Cyber Solutions, Eric Taylor, dropping bombs. For those on spring break who are catching up on replay, I hope you're enjoying your time off. Good to see you, everybody. Soundhouse Atlanta, hope you come back. All right, guys, great show today. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Let's get ready to pivot. Pivot! All right, hold on one second. All right. Many of you may know this, but we are about to bring on our very own Eric Taylor from Barricade Cyber Solutions. Hey, Eric Taylor from Barricade Cyber.
What's going on?
Nothing. Great to see you. What can people expect from you today?
Dude, I don't know. I've been so underneath a freaking massive rock. It's going to be a hot mess express, I'm sure.
All right, Hot Mess Express. Get the dolphin ready. Everybody, I'd like to introduce you. For those who don't know, this is Eric Taylor, CEO of Barricade Cyber Solutions, and he's going to be bringing hot fire over the next 30 minutes. Enjoy. I'm going to peace out. Thank you so very much. Hey, just a quick reminder, everybody, the NIST CSF 2.0 video that I made with my full breakdown of what you need to know about NIST CSF, how to implement it, and the biggest changes in 2.0 will be coming out later today. So stay tuned for that. I'm super excited. Thank you very much, everybody. Be good. And Eric, you got the helm.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, let's kick this thing over. All right. Hope y'all be able to see this. As we were talking about it before, you know, DJ BSEC has got me and Dr. Gerald Auger opening up our game. So got OBS installed. Hopefully that is all showing up like we want to. Let me know. Does this sound come through? I don't think that did. Oh, I see why, I think. Let's try this. I don't think that sound is coming through. I don't think. Do y'all hear the dolphin?
I can just come on. I'm listening right now. I can hear it in the very, very background, like it's almost getting picked up by your mic, not coming through as a feed.
I wonder if I have to... Learning curve with OBS, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Really quickly, just as while Eric's sorting that out, I want to let everyone know, for those in chat, occasionally people ask me, why am I yelling into the microphone? I am going to try to get that dialed in, but I'm just passionate, everybody. And passion sometimes takes the form of screaming into a microphone. So I definitely get into that. Are you working on OBS right now?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I may have to abort this and
we can meet up afterwards and just work through it if you like.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll tell you what, we'll go ahead and just drop this off. So my video will go a little crappy for a second here.
Your OBS does look good, though. I got to admit. Chat, what do you think of his? It's so hot.
It's so hot.
So hot right now.
All right, let me pivot here real quick. There we are. We'll get this thing worked out, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry. Do this. We'll do this. That of course works. That of course works. So I will go back to this, and we'll proceed forward like that. So we'll do this. We'll do this. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, this is the time of the show for the jaw jacking, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eric Taylor, as Dr. Gerald Auger said. You know, if y'all been around for a while, y'all definitely know who in the world I am. But those who don't know, I am the CEO and Chief Forensic Operator here at Barricade Cyber Solutions, where our primary job is to hunt evil. And right now, I am here to answer any questions that you, ladies and gentlemen, may have for me. With my best to not get canceled, not to talk too much politics, things of that nature. Let me know if y'all are hearing this thing. Flipper, the spicy dolphin. You know what? Let me bring that up. Hold on. Let me actually hit the record on this one for marketing. Release the Kraken, release the dolphin. So yeah, I got a new case. So I had this thing so set up and pumped in hopes that this thing was going to do what I wanted it to do. So, you know, of course, got the flipper, but also got this new expansion. So those who don't know, you got the Wi-Fi board or whatever. So it actually comes in and can actually strap right in onto the top there. So it's all kind of concealed and everything. So on my roadmap for one of my Google Pixels will be to install the Kali Net Hunter application. So that'll be something coming up soon. I don't know if I'll do videos and stuff like that. There's one thing that I've always wondered, or I've always toiled with, is, you know, I know other people do it, but my mindset is, do I really want to create videos that could really essentially advance and make threat actors more knowledgeable, right? So, you know, threatactoracademy.com is a real domain, ladies and gentlemen, in case you did not know. Dr. Gerald Auger said it enough times, I'm like, I gotta buy that thing. I just don't know what I'm gonna do with it, right? So what's on y'all's mind?
Hey, Eric.
To avoid the stream term, having the stream. Oh, very good. All right, so what's the future of Barricade Cybers look like? That's a good question. And thank you, DJ BSEC, for that reminder. So the future is we're still doing the DFIR. That's never going to go away. We are slowly expanding into some managed SOC, some managed 365, Fortify 365. You know, just trying to help take what we are learning from our individual cases to help secure businesses in a proactive manner if they are interested in that. All right, so. But right now, there's enough work going on right there for it's always something to deal with, right? And for some reason, there it goes. Question from our beloved Space Tacos. In your adventures defending against evil, what's the most complicated case you've ever dealt with? Space Talk, I would have to say the one thing that always gets me is the internal technologist that claims he knows what he's doing, but really doesn't know his head from a hole in the ground. You know, and it's not those. I want to be very careful when I say that. There's a difference between ignorance and incompetence, right? You can clearly, when you're talking to people like, okay, this individual clearly did not know what he or she was doing was not a good thing. And there's some of them that are like, whatever. And those are the ones that it really drives me nuts. So hopefully that answers your question. If y'all have any questions there, please definitely drop it into the chat. You know, we'll bring them up. We'll talk about them. I'm definitely one of those people that I have no problems talking about the elephant in the room. Jerry is trying to talk to you. No, I think that was DJ BSEC in the background. Unless that's in. Let me bring back up. Cassius Joseph, as long as we stay away from the managed SOC. Yeah, that's let's see, I muted Eric because I'm here. Yep, I see that. All right, so Not a Deepfake asks, how would you recommend getting into digital forensics side of security? Not a Deepfake, are you currently in InfoSec? Are you currently doing, blue team, red teaming, all that stuff? And I guess that's a hard one. Especially, I always try to say if you got somebody inside of your organization, or if you got a division inside of your organization that can be able to do that, you can be able to pivot like they have, on multiple divisions inside of their organization, then that would be good. Well, that's a hard one. I mean, because unfortunately I fell into it, so I was able to pivot the business pretty quickly, so I was fortunate in that. But I guess it just goes back to, when you're looking at getting into it, showing that passion, showing that drive that you have, and trying to show that you want to be there. Yes, there's always an elephant in the room that most people do not want to talk about. Bear with me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. For some reason, something is blowing up over here. What? Whatever. Okay. Sorry. I think it's a false alarm. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so good follow-up. So I'm in IT now. Hopefully you get in my first Security Central job potentially today. Well, congratulations, man. Good luck. We'll, everybody, say a prayer. Say, I'm Christian, folks. So I always say a prayer for you, but send the vibes or whatever to Not a Deepfake. Hopefully that lands well. Like I said, definitely go in and just show that passion, but show that drive that you want to be there, and that's gonna go in a long way. So one thing may help you as you go in there. Learn this directory. This is one that I always see a lot. So a lot of times they're like, you'll have a question. So where are the Windows system event logs? And if you don't know this, then most of the time they will just see you right out the door. So hopefully you guys can see that. Probably not. Let me just drop this in chat because I did not have a chance to do what I wanted to do. Yes, I got it. Be quiet. So learn that directory. That is the core Windows event logs. You definitely want to know that. Wow, I got some ton of questions coming in. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so I'm going to pivot over here to mod chat because I'm having a hard time keeping up with the last minute pivot. So thank you, Kimberly Can Fix It, for being in the mod chat to actually, capture these things. Let's see, Nick Vidal, forgive me, Nick, for butchering your last name. How do you vision the evolution of cybersecurity threats over the next decade, and what do you think is the best way to combat these evolving threats to protect? Nick, you're going to have me go on a effing soapbox, aren't you? All right. So you'll probably see it in the... there was actually a real world story that I actually put together for Tabletop Thursday, but let's see, I can't remember where this was. So CFO gets scammed in Zoom call. And I really didn't have a chance to even install, my filter. So this story here is really, really interesting. And I know Kimberly Can Fix It wanted me to talk about, my top thing this week. This one is very, very interesting to me. And I don't know if it's been covered on CISO series at all, because again, I've been literally under a rock, just dealing with cases and stuff like that and looking at my own internal feeds. This particular story, they literally got an email from the owner saying, hey, I need you to wire some money for this transaction, right? You've seen the typical scams, right? So the CFO, going through his cybersecurity training, says, hey, let's jump on a call real quick. And let's talk about this, right? Trying to bring it outside of email communication. Perfect tactic. Perfect. That's what a lot of tabletops will explain you to do. And until recently, within the last 2 years, 1 year even, maybe even 6 months, that's perfect tactics, right? But with the concept of AI, it really is a problem where this gentleman jumped on a Zoom call with roughly 6 or 8, or there was a number of people in the Zoom call, all from within the organization. The CFO was literally the only legit person in that entire organization. The only one. Everybody else was complete AI. Some were on video, some were not. It was, and then they wired out $25.6 million. The CFO thought he was doing what he was supposed to do. He did the normal checks and balances. So when you ask the question, how is the evolution, or how is this going to go? It's going to be a freaking dumpster fire. That and the inception of the Microsoft's I forget, OpenAI, I think it is. No, that's ChatGPT. Whatever Microsoft's AI is. So we've been going down that rabbit hole trying to, determine if a user actually did a search query in the unified audit logs, while AI is there to hopefully advance the functionality and the ease of pivoting inside of an organization, it's very problematic too, right? So it's short answer, Nick. Things are going to be a train wreck, because let's be honest. You go through all your training, and how many times people, thank you, MS Copilot. Thank you so much, Kimberly could fix it. I couldn't remember for the life of me the Microsoft product, Copilot. I don't know what, for some reason, I think every time I see that, I'm thinking we're taking a flight. Maybe we are all getting high on Microsoft. I don't know. Anyway, I digress. But, you go through all the training and people still click on malicious links all the friggin' time. Right? So. Alright. So yeah, I can probably, we can sit here and drink beers and talk about this for the next 10 hours about different scenarios, Nick. But yeah, it's something. Oh, and that actually goes into Mr. Meowmers. Mr. Meowmers. How much can AI affect cybersecurity? Mr. Meowmers, I think I just answered your question. Tim McDonald, what is your opinion on VirusTotal? Do you still use it? I do not typically use VirusTotal. I will use it. Well, I don't use VirusTotal as my daily driver. Typically, it is hybrid response or hybrid analysis. Sorry, because it is owned by CrowdStrike. So I'm so engraved that I think CrowdStrike pretty much lives underneath my bed, like the federal government wants to. But I do, use VirusTotal as a check. And the whole checks and balances, is it not being seen in, app.any.run? Is it not being seen in hybrid analysis or Joe's sandbox? Yeah, I will check VirusTotal as part of the suite of things to check when I'm looking for cross-referencing for hash files. So, but I have a raw file, then I just upload it to hybrid analysis. That's, because when I feed hybrid analysis with telemetry, it makes our platform better. So, going through mod chat. Dr. Joe Dozier is talking about his videos again. He's got a video for everything. Just kidding, buddy. Love you. Question from Space Tacos: How much have you had to deal with AI in digital crime fighting adventures? Do you have your own on deck ready to fight back? Good eye versus evil AI. No, Space Tacos, I do not have AI versus evil AI by any means. That's a massive tinfoil hat that I'm not ready to put on just yet. Right. Thankfully, our company is very small, so I won't put this out on the internet. But if you're going to Wild Hacking Fest, come and talk to me privately without your phone, because I'm not massive tinfoil hat guy. I'm a little, but I'm not massive. But when you talk about stuff and you start seeing ads on it on Google and all your other social medias, your phone is listening. And there's a little tip I want you to give you when technology is not around, right? It's for you and your spouses and things like that. So it's some I don't want to put out in the ether, but a little tip for you that hopefully, because you've seen that commercial where I think it's LifeLock. It might have been something else, Nord or something, where the girl is supposedly on the side of the road, broke down, calls dad, says, "Hey, I'm broke down. I need $1,500 for a tow or some gift cards." And it was, an AI calling the dad. There's ways to combat that. Again, come talk to me privately, and we'll discuss it. It's very, very simple, but I don't want to, again, put it out there in the ether. Question from J. Ian Michael. What do you look for an employee to take on more responsibility, more pay, but not leadership? Seat time, creds, general help around the office. Hold on, let me read that again. What do you look for in employees to take on more responsibility? More pay, but not leadership. Well, I mean, if you're getting more pay, I'm going to want you to have more ownership, leadership in the role that you're doing. You're advancing yourself, J.I. and Michael. Maybe you're not looking at a quote-unquote manager position, if you will. But if you're moving up, you're becoming a leader in the organization. That's just the way that it is, right? You know, is it seat time? Is it creds? General help around the office? All of the above, G and Michael. You know, I'm looking at how much time are they doing. You know, how are they doing on the forensic processing? You know, the hunting evil. You know, credentials definitely go a long way. We've had in the past, and I'm reworking it. Back when I was an MSP, you know, we gave bonuses, or not bonuses, but we did pay salary increases off of certifications that were specific to our industry. So if you got, you know, some of the entry level Fortinet or Palo Alto gear certs, and you got like $1,000 a year, but as you got more and more senior ones, you were getting like $4,000 or $5,000 a year as pay increases, right? So I'm not a huge component person of tenure. Like, you're just getting a raise because you've been here for 10 years type of thing. And I'm just, you know, that gets people to be lazy, in my opinion. Hopefully that answers your question. Cyber newbie, should it be considered fraud to duplicate someone with AI? Yes. Yeah, it is fraud. But again, you know, this is, all right, let me say the following. This is the views and opinion of Eric Taylor, and has nothing to do with Dr. Gerald Auger or Simply Cyber or any of the mods or administration there within. With that said, when you have the federal government giving executive orders and can't even follow their own to secure their own house, and yet they want to go for more money because of whatever, you think they're really going to go after these people? Get out of here. The federal government freaking just totally pisses. And it's not a left or right thing by any means. You go back years in multiple administrations, and it's a freaking problem. So don't take it like 100% anti-Biden, even though I personally think he's one of the worst. But this spans multiple administrations. So can we assume that AI will not be replacing humans in cybersecurity? Mr. Mewers asked that question. I would say AI, so there's in Microsoft, the AI that's being put in, the Copilot, there's a security Copilot being implemented to help threat hunt it, supposedly. I don't know how much that is going to come to fruition. I do think AI will help to some degree in making the path to detection easier. Will it get rid of human analysis? No. Will it greatly reduce the need for human analysis? Maybe. Maybe. Oh, from Discord. We're from the federal government and we're here to help. Yeah, famous last words, right? I'm neither artificial nor intelligent, Sai. I'm just a real dummy. Come on. We all are specialized in our own little thing. Is my music a little too loud? Yep. Cool. Thank you so much. I will drop that down a little bit. Oh, Nick, here we go. With the growing involvement of nation states in cyber operations, do you see the role of private cybersecurity firms evolving in Yes, Nick, absolutely yes. Yes, 1,000% yes. Right, so there is a growing movement, and again, massive tinfoil hat. I'm probably going to go downstairs in a minute and get one of my... So those who don't know, I do a lot of smoking and stuff like that, not the 420 stuff. I mean, I do e-cig, but anyway, meat smoking, and we have the wider aluminum foil just to get that real good aluminum foil hat on. But yeah, there's been a massive movement over the past couple of years for people who want to, scrub their information off the internet and things of that nature. Part of that is also hiring private cybersecurity firms, just like your own personal private security detail, right? You're doing some traveling, you need to make sure you have additional security forces, people, boots on the ground, so to speak. And I've been seeing a growing trend of this. We haven't taken it up because I do think it goes away from the core of our business, but I've helped advise on some of them on how to use things like Graphene OS and how to use Linux and Mac and some Windows devices and keep yourself as autonomous as possible while going through your life. Even though I'm very active on LinkedIn and Twitter, or now X, or whatever the heck you want to call it, my Facebook profile is pretty much scrubbed, except for the whole Hunter Strong stuff. My Facebook profile is pretty much scrubbed. So, and family who comes over knows, you could take pictures of me, that's fine, but if you're gonna put them on social media, you better black out my face. Put the happy thing, whatever. Don't tag me and stuff. The more and more that we are dealing with threat actors, they're getting to know who we are, because sometimes through engagements, they will have access to email accounts and things of that nature, and we'll figure out that we are involved. Is it possible that some threat actors are going to come over to the United States and put a hit on me? Probably not. But as the company grows, I do worry about it. So trying to be on the forefront of that, a little paranoia, now could help, shore up my environment if need be in the long term, right? So it's something that... So to answer your question, Nick, yes. I know, long-winded. Let's see. So DJ BSEC is put in the mod chat that Security Copilot will help those who do not know how to run custom queries. Yeah, I can see that. George, always after my heart. What's up, buddy? Have you tried smoking cheese or its Chex Mix yet? I'll get you some next time you're up this way. George, as soon as Hunter is out of the ICU, we will be up in your neck of the woods. You know I don't want to divulge it, but you know the projects that are going on. So I can't wait to get back up there again and try that unauthentic Texas style barbecue that's up there. Oh my God, that was bad. Good town though. Good time. Good times. All right, so let's stick around for a few more minutes. Is it Graphene or Graphene? I think it's the latter. But I've always been one to say Hooked on Phonics Network for me, so take my pronunciations with a massive grain of salt, please. While we're waiting for any last topics, I asked this out last week. Have y'all taken a look at all at the Tabletop Thursday stuff? We were looking for comments and stuff like that in the chats, but here in the Tabletop Thursdays, we may need, I'm not sure if we need to reorganize this or not. I don't know, but whatever. And we missed last week too, just because of some personal events, but we've got a bunch of them queued up. So this Thursday we'll have another one kicking back off again, but we haven't seen a whole lot of comments on that. So let me know, if y'all are looking at this, drop a comment in here for me and just say, hey, love it, hey, hate it, or whatever the case is. Really interested in that. Thank you so much. So just youtube.barricadecyber.com and just check out the Tabletop Thursdays. Let me know what your thoughts are on it. I could jam all the way in Texas. That's right. What is the smoothest case you've ever had to deal with when fighting evil? You got in, evaluated everything, made all the repairs, and resolved it without much drama. About 20% of them are about that way. I'm starting to wonder if they are times of the past. We've actually started having to invest more into forensic collection gear. The being able to remotely collect logs on impacted devices has started to become a problem. So we're pivoting a little bit. We've got some tools coming in today that I got to prep for. I think some of the days of easy collection are kind of getting to an end. So just because these operating systems are so heavily impacted and so crippled that it becomes a massive problem. So, but we've had some pretty easy cases where all we were doing was the forensics. So we got in, we collected the forensics, moved out of the way. There was another company that was doing the threat actor negotiations. There was another company that was doing the remediation, the restoration processes, and those go pretty smooth, right? So. Space Taco loves them, even though he doesn't get to see them until Saturday. No worries. But I'm glad that you're at least enjoying them. Paul Savage says you should do follow-ups on what you think is a good solution to the tabletop would be. Maybe the following week to give people time to think and comment. I don't know if that could be a short or not. But we could always start off with the intro being the short and then my commentary. That's a good idea, Paul. Hey, marketing, got a job for you. I mean, I got to create it, but yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea, Paul. Thank you so much. We'll take that one and give some scenarios and stuff like that. I like it. Nick, in a zombie apocalypse, how would your cybersecurity system ensure that the undead won't hack into Or is the zombie proofing still in R&D phase? Signing off. Thanks for the talk. No problem, Nick. I was about to say, if you were actually sticking around, if you ever watched any of those zombies movies, they can barely walk. So I don't think I have to worry about that too much. One second, getting pinged from one of our clients. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're probably going to wrap this up here in just a few moments. Thank y'all so much. 202 of you wonderful, wonderful people are hanging out. And I do want to do something different here. Let's see. Any last questions? Put the Q, a colon, and your question. This is a different artist I haven't heard of before, but it's not labeled explicit.
There's this girl I kinda know, got a name tag in pigtails. She doesn't seem to know that she's a god among females because she's hella hot and she smiles back at me, asking me what I think of new additions to PS3. I don't know, kinda cool, but I think that she's great. Trying to work up on my courage just to ask her.
Okay.
But it's weird 'cause she's at work and she's running.
I had to listen to it for a second because I wanted to make sure it wasn't truly explicit. So.
Trying to pretend that I'm not the jealous type, but I'm knowing better, so I hide in the back and try to formulate a plan like I'm both Wiki and Zach. Should I go up and tell her I'm a legend on the
Then we can be a rapper and wrap it up. Yeah, man. Makes me want to go to Burger King and get a Whopper. Thanks, Carrie. Let's see. Is virtual roundtable meeting as a tabletop Thursday doable? George sets? Maybe, George. Maybe. I'll have to figure out the logistics on that and how often we can do it. I know Black Hills has some of their stuff with backdoors and breaches, and Red Canary and Huntress. Yeah, Huntress. But there's a couple of expansion packs that you can even do all virtually, right? Or on there. So, and I don't know enough about that game to. Well, Carrie, no worries, buddy. I'm just messing with you. But I do love a good freaking Whopper. There's just not a Burger King around us. At least not around me, anyway. I think Casually Joseph's got one not too far from him, if I remember correctly. But anyway, that's something that I'll have to figure out. Do I do it as a webinar style with Zoom or whatever, or I don't know. I'll have to figure out the logistics and to see if that would be something that's doable. So, or even if it's just something that will, I will actually, just do a hosted session of backdoors and breaches. I don't know. I'll have to kind of learn their game a little bit first. So, good idea. I'll actually write that down. I love this song. Who is it? I've never heard of this person before, Jazzy Jazz. Let me pull it up. It's over here on Spotify. Some person named Beefy. I don't know, but there's a link. Double Whopper. No, dude, I love my pickles, man. But yeah, Double Whopper. Let me make sure my client is good. Yep, cool. All right, any last questions before we sign off? Any last questions? Y'all know what's going to be coming up here in a minute, in a beefy. But yeah, apparently his artist is Beefy. If you click on the link, exactly. It was an unnecessary pun, right? Unnecessary, right? Or unplanned, I should say. Between you and my stomach growl, which pissed off the Wildcat. Thanks. Wendy's is good too. The problem that I have, it is Tidbits Tuesday, so I'll say this. That when you're trying to lose weight, so those who know about Hunter and Hunter Strong and all that whole movement, but me and him kind of made a pact the other day, over the weekend, that I'll start working out again. I have a total, and busy life and everything, I gotten away from working out and put on some more weight again and stuff like that. But he's in the hospital recovering, just trying to get basic motor functions going and stuff. So I told him, as he's working and getting stronger, I'll start working out and getting stronger. And the doctor's always wanted me on 1,500 calorie intake. So most of the time when you go to fast food, it's you pretty much blow your entire calorie intake with one meal, especially McDonald's. Holy moly! Oh, so not sponsored. But I actually got this. This is one dude that I've been checking out for a while. I'm not sure if you heard of him. Cook Like a Book. I don't know why that's his name, but Calvin Kang. But he does like all the supposedly like all the healthier versions of this one here of like drive-through food. So if you're looking for stuff like that that's a little bit more healthier and a lot more protein and things like that, maybe you might want to check it out. You can get the ebook for like $5 or $10. It's crazy. But he's like a personal trainer, he's a gym rat and all that stuff. But some of the stuff in here does look pretty cool, especially if you go on his YouTube and stuff like that. There's a ton of Chipotle stuff. Let's see. Oh yeah, so we got, you got your nuggets, and of course I'm doing this backwards, but McChicken, spicy McChicken. So I mean, you see he's got like a lot of the stuff from fast food restaurants, right? McDonald's, he's got Panera, some Chick-fil-A, their big waffle fries, a healthier version of their Chick-fil-A sauce. Have you ever looked at the calorie intake on Chick-fil-A sauce? Holy McCrap. It's bad. So again, I've had a couple of his recipes, and I'm kind of diving a little bit more into it, a little bit trying to do that stuff. So check that out again. Cook like I'm Book. B-O-O-K. I'm not sure if that was supposed to be like cook like I'm broke or something, but again, he's all over your favorite social media platform. Let's try to find another. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will probably book out of here. Exactly. It is so good, though. It is, oh my gosh, so good. Okay, so we'll look up the Chick-fil-A sauce real quick. So they also have recipes. They even got like the big Dynabox from Pizza Hut. It's got Pandora Express. Oh, they even got the healthier version of Raising Cane's. Antisyphon's pretzels. So I mean, you can. Of course, the taste is not always going to be the same, but let's see, McDonald's, Panera, Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A sauce is on 141. Again, I haven't tried this one, or I haven't tried any of the recipes in this book. Did that just say some curse words? This thing did not say it was explicit. Yeah, stop. Well, stop. That should be classified explicit. That is not Disney room conversation. So yeah, their his Chick-fil-A sauce version of it is 32 calories, unfortunately 0 grams of protein, 1 gram of fat, and 5 grams of carbs. So, I mean, if it tastes anything remotely close, like the real one, then holy McMoly, that's going to be awesome, right? So yeah. But finally, I got the electronic version of it the other day, or a couple weeks back, and finally got the book in. So, we'll be digging into that. So, no, Luke, this is called food porn, sir. Food porn. All right, guys, gals, I greatly appreciate everybody coming and listening to me ramble for about an hour now, just shooting the trash with you guys. I do greatly appreciate it. We will see you guys and gals in 1 week, unless I see you on the interwebs. Thank you guys so much. As we pivot over here, we will go to the sea shanty, and we will do the official closeout. Thanks again, everybody. See y'all next week. Take care and stay curious.
Once was a kid whose passwords laid across all sites. They were the same, a criminal, then found their fame by taking that data to go. Soon may a criminal come to steal your pictures and data and run. One day when the crime is done, they'll steal your account and go.
If you enjoyed that content, keep the cybersecurity train going by connecting with the other Simply Cyber community resources. We have the Discord server that's lively and always keeps the conversation going. You can connect with me directly on LinkedIn. And also every single weekday morning on the Simply Cyber channel, we're doing live daily cyber threat briefings, 8 a.m. Eastern time, as well as Thursday at 4:30 p.m. We're doing live stream interviews with industry experts, and we produce videos that we push out every Wednesday morning. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I hope you enjoyed the content, and we'll see you in the next one.